What's happening? It's your boy Butler. It's the best day of my life. Or it might go on my other page. Either way, it's the best day of my life. Tomorrow's not promised. Go on to your little dance while they still playing your song. Hey, man, there's a new day and age in Georgia prison, bro. They got cell phones. They are active. They have drugs. They have knives. They have guns. They make children. They unalive people. They do drugs. They have footage of an individual who is slumped over. I'm going to let y'all look at it, and I'm going to let you look at it, man. We'll go from there, man. It's ridiculous, bro.
A Georgia prison provides a stark example of how few officers are actually on the job these days.
The video shows a dead prisoner slumped over a cell block railing while others complain he's been there for hours, all because no officer is on duty in their section of the prison.
Fox 5 team reporter Randy Travis investigated the video and the disturbing number of job vacancies in Georgia Department of Corrections. Randy?
That's right, Rustin Courtney. The Department of Corrections knows it has a problem attracting and keeping employees. They've raised pay, held job fairs across the state, but in some prisons like this one, records show they have only a third of the staff they need.
So now I'm confused because they went up on the pay. They only have a third. I got information that ever since COVID hit years ago, that the staffing issue has just gotten worse and worse. And I talked to a lot of people who have worked at these facilities and just were disgusted. Some people turn into mules, man, but there has to be a solution. But apparently it's not the top of the to-do list for the state. It's just not, because if it was, then they'd get it done, is what I believe. And I want to say rest in peace to Almir Harris. His funeral is tomorrow. I'm speaking at his funeral. This kid was on my caseload. He too died in the Georgia Department of Corrections. He too was dead in the day room.
As you can see, it is Sunday, July 3rd at 8:17 a.m.
This anonymous prisoner recorded multiple videos of a gruesome scene at Ware State Prison. We'll let him tell it.
No officer have came back in this building and checked on nobody in over 3 hours. We have an inmate here that is dead, been hanging right here.
Oh, you know what? I think I have footage of this one. Let me check my Instagram. I think I have footage of this, bro. Then how did he get slumped over? Somebody slumped him over, or did he just, I don't know if he has been stabbed, or I don't know if he's OD'd. The sad part is that in the Department of Corrections, ain't no telling. I got footage right here. This thing. Let me see. This is inside a female prison. I think that this drug is meth or strips or something, bro. It's bad. This is in the female facility. I just do not understand. I do not understand. Here's another guy that's on drugs in Georgia Department of Corrections. Hold on. Hey, I know humans are, or human life is not being valued. It's to a point where the animals at the Atlanta Zoo get treated better than the humans in the prisons. That's the truth. There's overcrowding. Oh, do I have a video? I'm going to show you the overcrowding. I hope this video don't get flagged, but I'm gonna show it to you. We're gonna see. There's overcrowding at the Georgia. I don't understand how so many people are just sleep in the day room, bro. Like, it baffles me as to how that could possibly be taking place. Here we go.
Nah, they motherfucking man. These boys at Garnett Station. But ain't nobody fucking with Shawty. 2025, we got niggas sleeping in the mat. Out this bitch. Hey, you alive in that mat, bro? Hey, bro. Are you alright in there? Yeah. Alright. Yeah. These boys fucked up. Yeah, they make a state, nigga. That's how they living, that's how they sleeping out here. So my mama, we got niggas, these niggas sleeping in the shower. Shit crazy. Shit fucked up, nigga.
Bro, I don't know. Another video. Hey, man. If there is not an element that can make you say that I'm going to stay on the porch, first of all, prison in its most awesome light is a horrible place. It's an illogical, tempered. It's a horrible place, man. I'm trying to stay monetized, so I'm trying to reduce the profanity on this page. But hey, man, prison is already a bad place. But one of the things that a prison should do is it should assist in the rehabilitation of an individual. I myself am a product of the Georgia Department of Corrections. At the time that I was incarcerated, within like 1996 to 2006, bro, I never saw a cell phone. I never saw one cell phone. And you could get locked down for doing anything. It surely was not a 3-hour time span before anybody walked in the dorm. Bro, if your mustache was not above your lip, bro, you would go to the hole. I just remember that's how I did my time. And a few people got stuck up. A few people died. A lot of people got raped. But I just remember fighting. People like, it was, hey man, they don't see what's going on. And I know guys used to be getting marijuana, but I don't know if they was getting hardcore drugs in there, man. It's like, it's just running rapid, bro. It's just running rapid. And one of my biggest concerns is, because right now you got so many kids that's going to prison. So many kids that's going to prison. And they just don't seem like prison material. You ain't big enough. I know a little dude that's 13 years old, man. He literally, he got a couple of bodies. He's not coming home. He's not coming home. That's where he gonna spend the rest of his life, in that prison right there. Maybe he'll come home when he's an old man, but probably not. Some of the individuals there don't have life sentences. Some of these guys are gonna come home this year. So these guys are coming home with drug addictions, and there is no renewing of the mind. There is no shifting of the paradigm. There is no emotional intelligence. You're not even getting your GED. You're not doing anything. You're not getting better. You're getting worse. And then you coming back out here, you're going to break the law some more. That's why the prisons are overcrowded. The prisons are overcrowded, whether they understaffed or not. You don't have enough beds. That's how many people breaking the law. The United States already got the highest prison population in the world, and then you telling me that the prisons don't have enough bed space to house these people. Let me get off my footstool.
Here for the past 2 hours, at least 2.5 hours, dead.
We've blurred the image of 54-year-old John Eckers serving life with parole for murder. His body was balanced on the railing of the second level, arms dangling down.
I wonder what John Eckers did, because he was locked up for murder. Let me see. John Eckers. wonder what he did. No, Georgia. Put Georgia. He said his name was John. Not John. I know it, John Eccles.
Department of Corrections spokesman says staff arrived
is trying to
us inside of our prison system.
Days before Ecker's body, according to records, Christina Rem, lawsuits filed by the Southern Center for Human Rights.
You have many
This is crazy.
Investigators determined foul play is not suspected. But that's not the biggest question here. Why couldn't you guys have alerted?
at 8:17 a.m.
This anonymous prisoner recorded multiple videos of a gruesome scene at Ware State Prison. We'll let him tell it.
No officer have came back in this building and checked on nobody in over 3 hours. We have an inmate here that is dead, been hanging right here for the past 2 hours, at least 2.5 hours, dead.
We've blurred the image of 54-year-old John Eckers serving life with parole for murder. His body was balanced on the railing of the second level, arms dangling down. A Department of Corrections spokesman says staff arrived 18 minutes after this video was recorded.
Dead. It's crazy. This is crazy.
Investigators determined foul play is not suspected. But that's not the biggest question here. Why couldn't you guys have alerted the staff earlier?
How could we when no one is in the booth? When no one is around?
One of Ecker's fellow dorm members agreed to talk to us from his bunk, as long as we did not show his face. Is the Georgia prison system a more dangerous system now than in the past? Because of staffing?
Well, of course it is. Of course it is.
Hey, man. The fact that this dude got a cell phone in his bunk, bro, them folks in there living freely, but you living amongst some of the most unintelligent people in the state, some of the most dangerous individuals in the state. Then you add drugs, knives, gangs. That's a deterrent right there, bro. This is the CERT team. I remember the CERT team. Usually when they came, it was some ass whooping to take place. And they was on top of the alto. I don't know what these dudes doing.
Let's go. Georgia's prison system is already under federal investigation. The U.S. Justice Department building its case, starting with lawsuits filed by the Southern Center for Human Rights.
You have many facilities across the state running staffing vacancy rates that are close to 70%, so you really only have one officer in a situation where you needed 3.
According to records Christina Remlin and her staff collected, Ware had a 68% job vacancy rate in January. The DOJ investigators actually paid a visit to Ware days before Ecker's body would be left hanging over a railing for hours.
I can't imagine a more dramatic illustration of the total crisis of violence and chaos inside of our prison systems.
The Department of Corrections turned down our request to interview Commissioner Timothy Ward.
Yep.
In a written statement, a spokesperson said, "We remain committed to ensuring the safety of both staff and offenders, and we continually evaluate any need for improvement in our processes."
I think the Department of Correction is trying to manipulate the free world to saying that it's not a problem.
Before he finished his sentence last year on drug charges, Andrew Richardson said he was stabbed by a fellow inmate multiple times.
And I was bleeding out in 3 ways, like the cartoon, the water coming out the cartoon, just bleeding, 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 bleeding. I'm passing out. We want an officer 100 foot away from him. No help.
He said the lack of officers made life more dangerous than when he first went to prison nearly 20 years ago. And for anyone who doesn't care about what happens to inmates, if a federal investigation determines civil rights violations, Georgia taxpayers could be on the hook for a lot of money.
I accepted my punishment. I took it. Now it's time for the Department of Correction to take their wrongdoing and to fix this.
They seem to be trying.
By joining the Georgia Department of Corrections, you become part of something.
Recruiters fan out across the state nearly every week. Entry-level pay is now more than $18 an hour. But in this economy, job seekers can likely find similar pay without the downside.
The job is a very, very...
Bro, $18 an hour? Are you serious, bro? $18 an hour, bro. $18 an hour. That's crazy work, man. To be around these.
Part of something.
Recruiters fan out across the state nearly every week. Entry-level pay is now more than $18 an hour. But in this economy, job seekers can likely find similar pay without the downside.
The job is a very, very...
Hey, you really need to double that, bro. I ain't the police. I'm just a human being. I've been through the system. Hey, man, you want for it to be safe? You want rehabilitation to take place? Man, give them people some money, bro. Give them some money, because don't nobody care. You $18 an hour, bro? That is nothing. The drug dealers end up paying more than that, which is why, man, that's crazy. I'm going to get back to another story I did, too, about that, because they finding guns in the chain gang. What's going on with guns, bro?
Traumatizing one, and in this context right now, there's a lot of chaos and a lot of violence, and it's understandable why people don't want to work there.
I got to tell you, this is an unusual interview, talking to an inmate from inside a prison.
That's a kneecap right there. You heard me.
Why did you feel so strongly that you wanted to talk to me?
Well, because
somebody know.
People that need to get the proper attention are dying that don't need to be dying. If they had the proper, staffing, people will get the attention that they need.
The Department of Corrections is not confirming that Ecker's body was there for as long as those inmates insist it was. They say it's still under investigation.
Yeah. Well, the inmate.
It would help if he would say, instead of saying those inmates, he just say those people. Because what you do is, when you say inmate, it immediately feeds into the non-humanistic aspect of it. Offenders, convicts, inmates. Just say people. Because when you say people, bro, that's one human to deal with another human. It's like Cat Williams had this joke where he was just like, president got on the TV and described some people he didn't have no problem with. He said insurgents. He said, I don't even know no insurgents. So there's a disconnect. So you have to be conscious. It's a shifting of the paradigm, because if you want to help, maybe you don't know how to help, or maybe you're not looking at it, or maybe I'm just overthinking the situation. I think the first way to help another human, bro, is to acknowledge that that person is a human. Then we can go from there. But when you start, if he's an insurgent or an inmate or offender or a convict, then you really you saying, hey, let's help, we don't understand, but you're also setting the boundary. It's that subconscious wall that's up. So it's a human being, bro. Just say American. They're all Americans. You just call him an American. He's an American. Why you keep calling him inmate?
I just spoke to you on the phone, makes a good point. You've done stories in the past about the cell phone problem inside prisons. I mean, it seems absurd that it's so easy for them to have access to phones.
Yeah, and officers have tried for years and years to stop the incessant flow of cell phones into the prison system. But, it's interesting, ironically, without that cell phone, there wouldn't be proof of that inmate hanging over the railing for as long as he apparently was. So,
and technically, he's dead. He's not an inmate anymore. Stop calling him an inmate, bro. Hey, man. You want to treat humans like humans, bro. Call them humans.
It provides some evidence for the Department of Corrections, for the Justice Department that's currently looking at the state of Georgia's prison system. A lot of eyes are on the prison system right now here in Georgia, and there are a lot of talk about what to do if they can't get enough staff. Some perhaps radical ideas like reducing the number of prisoners through early release and things like that. Not to the point yet where it's going to be implemented, but they're talking about it right now. So this is a situation that's serious for the folks inside the prison who work there and who serve time there, and perhaps for the ones outside the system as well.
Yeah, well, when it comes to things like violence, and then also, what you're pointing out with the cell phones, clearly the understaffing can cause more than one issue.
You can get away with a lot of bad things when there are not enough eyes watching what's going on.
Yeah. All right. Randy, thanks.
Thanks, Randy. Well.
Hey, man, it's your boy Butler, man. Best day of my life. Or stay out of prison, whatever page I decide to post this to. It's like a roach infestation of people dying daily. I can show you right now. Let's see. I can show you right now on my page, man, where you actually have. I'm going to show you. Oh, we got another update. A dead body was found inside the cell. This is today, 5 hours ago, with the Human and Civil Rights Coalition of Georgia. They be on top of it. It says a dead body was found inside a cell today at Macon State Prison, Tent City. The body had been inside the cell for 3 to 4 days before being discovered. The roommate of the deceased individual never said a word. Regional director found the body. The regional director, who's the regional director of? Who's the regional director? Georgia prison. Georgia correction officer killed and interrogated by inmate. What the feezy? TFI State Prison inmate dies after altercation. That is, boy, the Georgia Department of Correction is wild.
Our top story at 11, a Telfair State Prison inmate has died following an altercation with another inmate. Georgia Department of Corrections Director of Communications Joan Heath says Eric Whitehead, who was serving life with parole for murder out of Richmond County, died on Wednesday. The GDC's Office of Professional Standards is investigating.
Hey, man, the Georgia Department of Corrections, bro. Bro, stay out of jail, bro. That's not what I was looking for. I want to see Georgia Prison Regional Director. Who is that? Who is the Georgia Prison Healthcare faces little independent oversight? Georgia cutting jobs, moving staff behind the wire. What in the...
The state's prison system cutting jobs and inviting some of its non-correction staff to apply for new jobs inside prisons. Now, they won't say how many workers are affected. Several Department of Corrections staffers told 13 WMAZ this week. The agency held meetings this week at its Forsyth headquarters with workers from around the state. One worker shared a form that said jobs are being eliminated as of November 15th and invited people to list jobs and locations they'd like to move to. The state prison system employs more than 12,000 people statewide. It's headquartered in Forsyth.
They fired people. See, I was under the impression that people quit. Years ago. Purpose, passion, perform careers with Georgia. That's 15 years ago. Y'all so cap. More diplomas? DSC's definitely involved in state prisoners accusing of killing, set an inmate on fire. What the fees?
The new district attorney for the Okmulgee Judicial Circuit wants 2 Baldwin prisoners to die for the alleged murder of another inmate. T.U. Wright Barksdale III filed a formal notice he will seek the death penalty for Timothy Dunnigan and Trinity Busler. Barksdale says in June 2019, Dunnigan and Busler strangled, stabbed inmate David Wilson, and then set him on fire in his cell. It happened at Baldwin State Prison in Hardwick. According to state prison records, Dunnigan was in prison for an armed robbery. Busler was in jail for several burglaries and false imprisonment. Watson was serving a 25-year sentence for aggravated sexual battery in Coweta.
Baldwin State Prison. That's the same prison that our meal was at. Our meal was at the same prison, bro. Recent Harris County. Justice for Almir Harris.
Have you heard about Almir Harris? His story is shaking up the Georgia prison system. Imagine being trapped in a place where your basic needs are ignored, where safety is a luxury. That's the reality for many, including Almir. The system is bursting at the seams with too many inmates and not enough staff. It's a pressure cooker, and lives are at stake.
Never bite the hand.
Have you heard about Almir Harris? His story is shaking up the Georgia prison.
Never.
Have you heard about Almir Harris? His story is shaking up the...
Last name.
Almir Harris Mungie is what he said, but it's Monhay.
You know what? You mentioned that. I remember him always saying, "My
6:25. I got called at 6:40, and I don't remember what time we actually got to the hospital because where we lived at the time. So Almir gets out. Clayton County had the audacity to bind him out. Lady who was supposed to be his counselor, I guess at the time, she said, "Ma'am, I'm aware. We're working feverishly to get him out of here." I sat down and I composed a letter. And I said, "Baby, listen, your mama smokes cigars like I do, and I enjoy cigars." I said, "Let mommy introduce you to the world of a cigar. Don't put them drugs in your body. Don't do that."
Right.
And, he said, "Okay, Mom, I might be open to that. I might be open to it." But he kept saying, "I want to go to the store, get me a pack of Black and Milds." I'm like, "Baby, you can't smoke in my house now."
Yeah. Dignity and death.
We don't smoke around here, so you can't smoke in the house. But, it was futile. My trying to reach him was futile at the time. And so he continued.
So there's a fundraiser for Almir Harris. His funeral is tomorrow. Hold on. Right, tomorrow. 6.5 was the goal. Says, help us honor Almir Harris' legacy of resilience, love, and justice. Dear friends, family, and supporters, it is with profound sorrow that we share Harris' beloved son. Yep. Man, the kid was on my caseload, man. All right, so I never. Let's go back to GDP medical, because this guy had diabetes. COVID, life in prison, not California, man. Georgia, bro. Georgia. As you can see, I type like an old man. One day after alleged homicide in Augusta State Medical Prison. Let me see what y'all got.
Meanwhile, the former president will be on the road campaigning again next week when he's scheduled to speak at the NRA convention in Indianapolis. Closer to home, the Richmond County Coroner's Office investigating an apparent homicide at the Augusta State Medical Prison. 60-year-old Amos Huff pronounced dead March 30th at the prison. We're still waiting for results from the autopsy to tell us the cause of that death.
For this investigation, I spoke with 11 sources, including parents of inmates and former employees at the facility. All but one of the former employees spoke on the condition of anonymity for fear of retribution. Meanwhile, the agencies responsible for the nearly 52,000 inmates from across the state have refused.
Well, 7 inmates were stabbed when a fight broke out at Dooley State Prison. That is according to the State Department of Corrections. They say it happened after a prison shakedown when officers confiscated cell phones yesterday. The prison system says the 7 inmates' injuries were not life-threatening. Meanwhile, the State Corrections Department says an inmate died.
No, stop that. Don't do that. No, don't do that.
Inmates were stabbed when a fight broke out at Dooley State Prison. That is according to the State Department of Corrections. They say it happened after a prison shakedown when officers confiscated cell phones yesterday. The prison system says the 7 inmates' injuries were not life-threatening. Meanwhile, the State Corrections Department says an inmate died at Telfair State Prison. They say Eric Whitehead died Wednesday after getting into a fight with another inmate. Whitehead's body will be taken to the GBI for an autopsy. The Corrections Department is still investigating what happened.
Bro, y'all have so many stabbings in the state of Georgia, bro. Inmate record horrific beating and stabbing inside Georgia. Let's see.
Now to a story you will only see on 11 Alive. A Georgia inmate beaten and stabbed. The attack caught on camera and shared on social media.
Oh, you know what? They got it blurred out. You know what? I'm not going to play around with the people at YouTube. Because they didn't already show me. They're not playing. I'm just going to look and see if I can find it. I'm just going to see. I'm just going to look and see. There is one. This is how I got kicked off of YouTube 9 months ago. But I was just trying to spread the truth. And I'm going to learn from my mistakes. And I'm not. I'm sure. No. I don't need no copyright or none of that goofy stuff, man. I do. Let me turn the volume down. I'm not. I said I wasn't, so I'm not. I want to give you a glance, though. Can I do this? I'm going to give you a glance. Oh. Okay, no more. Man, they got this dude hog-tied, bro. He's hog-tied, then tied to the... Man, I hate to see humans done like this, bro. I really hate to see it. Damn.
Yeah, tonight, Troy Castleberry's family wants him transferred before he's killed, and Castleberry is serving an 18-year sentence tied to an armed robbery out of DeKalb County.
However, his family says they feel his life is in danger now. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn joins us live in the studio. So
that's the same thing Almir Harris's mom said. She said, I feel like my son's... Look, she said that she felt like her son was not going to make it, and he did. But she pleaded out for help. This is what she said on maybe 4 or 5 days before his passing. She said, please help. This was before he passed away. My name is Monique Monge. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I am writing this letter with deep concern and urgency, seeking assistance for my son, Almir Harris, who is currently incarcerated at Baldwin State Prison. Almir is a 23-year-old young man living with autism and type 1 diabetes, and his health and well-being are in grave jeopardy due to the severe neglect in his medical care. This was December the 10th. That's December the 10th. She wrote a long letter. And she just asked for help, bro. Oh, man, to know that your son is just, like, in the system, man, I can only imagine. And then, if I go to her page, on December 10th, bro, when she was asking for help, she didn't get no help. She didn't get no help. And then, on... Let's see, Georgia prisons exposed. Please sign in and share. We got another group. When I seen it, damn, bro, a few days later. So that was on December the 10th. On December the 31st, he died, bro. He died on December 31st. Damn. Hey, man. Damn.
Cody, you watched the video. I watched it along with you, and you also spoke with the inmate's family tonight.
It's tough, Ron and Jennifer. I can't imagine that being my loved one and feeling so helpless. And then to find out through Facebook this happened to your loved one. The Castleberrys outraged at the silence from the prison and the Department of Corrections. Beaten and stabbed multiple times.
This is awful.
So much so we're blurring the attack. In the 1-minute, 18-second video taken from inside Smith State Prison, you see inmate Troy Castleberry sitting on the floor next to a bunk, his hands bound behind him, wearing only a pair of shorts. Castleberry is repeatedly punched and kicked in his head, throat, and chest by 3 inmates as a 4th inmate records the attack. That was the inmate who was recording. He's then seen joining in on the beating. Castleberry bleeding from his ears, nose, mouth, and chin.
Nobody deserves to be treated like that. Yes, he has done wrong. He's not an angel, but he's not a monster either.
Castleberry's family calling it a modern-day lynching.
My son could have lost his life.
Just over a minute into the video, you see one of the inmates pull out a shank. He's stabbed 4 times in the shoulder and upper arm before he's rolled over on the ground and stabbed another 7 times in the back. The video cuts off as the stabbing appears to continue.
Somebody actually said, "I'm sorry you lost your brother." My brother's not dead, but that video would lead him believe.
Castleberry's family has no idea what kind of condition he's in.
We still haven't been able to see him physically to know that he's okay. That place is not fit for anyone to be incarcerated inside the wall.
There should be some accountability for what happened to my brother.
We reached out to the Department of Corrections regarding this video tonight. They sent us a 1-sentence statement saying they're investigating. This is the same prison the GBI arrested the warden back on February 8th on RICO charges tied to corruption inside the facility. And you can read more about that right now at 11alive.com.
Hey, man, stay out of jail, bro.
Happening now, state officials.
If you got people that's in chain gang, bro, you got humans, man, reach out to them. If you're an officer, I can't even say do your job because y'all ain't getting paid nothing. I don't even know what to say. Because y'all putting y'all life in danger for close to nothing. To ask you to risk your life that's crazy. It's a bad situation, bro. Somebody please fix it, man. Because we just losing people, bro. White, black, Hispanic, we just losing people, bro. Shit is stupid.